Hello, my name is Danielle Spada, and this bibliography video summary will cover task list section D, experimental design. My decision to focus on section D is based on it being one of my lowest scoring sections on the VISI exam pretest. The articles I've selected to improve my knowledge of section D are Single Subject Experimental Design of Evidence-Based Practice by Byers, Richley, and Simmons, 2012, Applying the Taxonomy of Validity Threats from Mainstream Research Design to Single-Case Experiments and Applied Behavior Analysis by Pettersdottir and Carr in 2018, as well as Generality of Findings from Single-Case Designs, It's Not All About the End by Walker and Carr in 2021. Here I've provided a breakdown of all task list items from section D. This will be used for reference throughout the rest of my presentation. The first article is Single Subject Experimental Design of Evidence-Based Practice by Byers, Richel, and Simmons in 2012. Key findings include that single subject research designs provide a flexible alternative to traditional group designs in the development and identification of evidence-based practices. The relevance is that this article specified independent and dependent variables, defined different types of single subject experimental designs, identified what research questions apply to each design, along with each design's advantages and disadvantages, as well as provided examples of graphs for each of these designs. The Byers article had shared what different research questions were being asked based upon which experimental design was being utilized. Examples include the pre-experimental AB design asked, does outcome X change from baseline levels with the introduction of intervention B? Or multiple baseline, multiple probe is asking, does outcome X change from baseline levels with the introduction of intervention B over multiple participants, responses, settings, etc.? The next article was Applying the Taxonomy of Validity Threats from Mainstream Research Design to Single-Case Experiments and Applied Behavior Analysis by Pettersdottir and Carr in 2018. Key findings included single-subject research design is vulnerable to different threats related to internal and external validity. Relevance of this article is that it provided definitions and examples for each of the validity threats. Pettersdottir and Carr in 2018 described single-subject research design threats to internal and external validity. Examples of threats to internal validity included history, maturation, and instrumentation. External validity threats included interaction of the causal relationship with units, as well as context-dependent mediation. The next article was Generality of Findings from Single-Case Designs, It's Not All About the End by Walker and Carr in 2021. The key findings from this were that external validity or generality refers to extending findings beyond the confines of a controlled experiment. Applied research generalization from a study to a specific client does not require a large sample size. Relevant to this article is that it defined external validity and described the advantages of single-subject experimental design compared to group designs. Walker and Carr, 2021, described generality and applied research for both group and single-subject designs. Within group designs, generality is promoted by using random sampling, but this makes the designs vulnerable to being hindered by the heterogeneous nature of random samples. To combat this, post-hoc or after-the-fact analyses are conducted. For single-subject designs, generality is promoted through replication. This makes the designs vulnerable to being hindered by the homogeneous nature of small samples. To combat this, researchers utilize a line of research. In conclusion, the task list section D items covered by the reviewed articles included D1, D2, D4, and D5. In addition, future implications from the research that I conducted include the need to conduct additional research regarding the defining features of single-subject experimental design and the rationales for conducting comparative, component, and parametric analyses. Thank you for taking the time to learn with me.